I'm Matt Mahler with MovieWeb. It's a pleasure to speak with both of you on this.
You too, Matt.
It's such a well-structured show. I love the way it's edited and done, and it never lets the high concept get in the way of these characters' emotions, which I really love. But
Oh, thank you.
you know, it still explores the ideas in a fascinating way. So, congrats on this.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Blake, you've already had a couple of series based on your work. When you were writing Dark Matter originally as like a manuscript, were you already thinking in visual terms at all?
I mean, I think visually as I'm writing, I try actively not to think about, what an adaptation might be while I'm writing the novel. I really want the novel to be the novel. And once it's locked and off to copy edits and proofs, then I start wondering, like, should this be something? And if so, like, what is it? In the case of Dark Matter, so I'd only written the first 140 pages. This was back in 2014. And then those pages leaked out from my publisher to Hollywood, I think via foreign subagents. And so suddenly there was a lot of interest around it, and I kind of had to make a decision. And it felt like that point, I was like, I think it's a movie. And so we sold it as a movie, and then found out after I finished the book that, yeah, it might be a movie, just not a very good movie.
Right. Well, it could have been a great movie. It's
Yeah.
a better TV show.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Was there just too much going on?
I was when he mentions Hollywood, that's when I come in.
Matt stole the pages.
Yes, I was in the Xerox machine. Yeah, I mean, there's you've read it, you've seen it, so you know, obviously you can do anything in 2 hours. Great movies have been made, but there was so much that you also couldn't do, and when we were developing it, that became super clear that we found ourselves cutting to plot much more than we would want to, that there was just more, and again, I'm trying not to spoil anything, but there were more places to go, more characters to explore, which even beyond what happened in the novel. So yeah, it just felt like we wanted more real estate.
What was special about the idea was the characters and really connecting with them emotionally, which the book did. And we found that was really hard to do in a 110-page script for a film. And the moment it went to television, they're like, oh, you can actually write scenes and have these people talking about the thematic stuff. And then it opened up for us.
Yeah.
Right, it becomes less of sci-fi thriller and more of this expansive character drama.
Yes, exactly right.
Matt, you've sort of been involved with the Spider-Verse and alternate realities and multiverses, and this show is so different than other films you've done, but it explores that concept of possibility. What do you think has latched on to audiences recently about multiverses or Spider-Verses?
Well, I think there's first of all, I would quote Blake in saying that he started writing this book before the trend of the multiverse in film and television. I think it's a complicated thing. I think to unpack, but I think at its core, that notion of the multiverse taps into something very relatable for all of us, which is, what else is out there, and who else could I have been, and is this all there is? Not in a cynical way, but what are the choices that I made and didn't make? And I think that the world has conspired a little bit of late to make that almost a more pressing issue. I think social media has played a role in that. The way that we all examine our own lives in contrast to other people and other places has made it an all too sort of normal part of conversation. Who else could you be? You scroll and it's like everybody's telling you, if you do this, you could be that person, or you could, and I think it's become a part of our consciousness. And I think scientifically, or for science fiction, it's an awesome notion. It's wild to explore. It's why we're here. I think culturally, it's dangerous, and because it does what happens to our protagonist. It takes you out of your world, doesn't it? You know, so anyway, I don't mean to give a lecture on
No,
but
that's fascinating. I mean, obviously the Schrodinger's cat and superpositions, that's been around for a while. Twilight Zone even are doing things with stepping into alternate realities. But today, the concept of FOMO, everyone's afraid of missing out. What are they missing out on? The emphasis on identity.
Yes.
It's really reflected here. I guess I'll ask. This is kind of out there, but what's one big decision for both of you you've made in your life that may have created a parallel version of yourself you'd be interested in learning about? Where did you split off?
I don't know. I guess it was a decision when I was finishing my undergrad at Carolina at Chapel Hill. I didn't really know what I was going to do. I was writing, of course, but you can't really make a living writing, mostly. So I was looking at go to law school. I guess I'll go to law school. I think that's maybe what a lot of people think. I'll just go to law school. And so I applied to one place, which was Carolina, and I got waitlisted. And so I ended up not going. And I think about that a lot because I feel like if I had gotten in, my life would have that's a strong strong there's a version of me that got in, and I'm maybe a Southern lawyer in North Carolina,
I could see that.
You could see that?
Yeah.
But I did, but then you do that, and then my eye gets taken off of my focus on writing. But instead, I didn't, and I took a paralegal job, which is far less intense, and so I got to keep my focus on writing. But I think if I had gotten into law school and gone down that path, I probably would have become a lawyer and would have lost some of that intense focus that brought me here today. And that to me is a scary alt version of myself, but maybe that Blake is super happy and on Instagram doing yoga on a mountaintop. I don't know.
Yeah, that's kind of the humbling notion of it all.
Yeah.
You could be totally different.
Yeah.
I only have about a minute left.
Yeah.
I'd be remiss not to ask Matt. News broke last night. Kraven the Hunter has been postponed till December.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on that? Were you involved in the decision, or sort of?
Yeah.
How'd you react?
I mean, I would not characterize it as postponed as much as it's reflective. I mean, it's a phenomenal date, that when you have the sort of the runway of the holiday and people, available to see a movie over and over again, it's where you want to live, but it's also, it's reflective of confidence by the studio that the movie is going to deliver. And so I feel really glad the studio makes that decision, but I'm very happy with it. I really am. I think it's a great play.
Awesome. Well, it's a great year for you, everything going on. And congrats, Blake. Both of you, great show. Thank you very much.
Great talking to you.